All right. Welcome to February 20, what day is it? 25th? Welcome to February 25th of 2020, the Happy and Fit call. I'm so glad to see so many of you on tonight. We have some very special things to share. Julianne is currently in flight, and her sweet little family's on their way back to California from hanging out with so many of you. In Milwaukee this last weekend. And so I'm a little jealous to be a little southern, a little less, not so north to be hanging out in Milwaukee this weekend, but I saw the pictures and I saw the stories and it was so much fun to see all that. And so I'm excited that you guys all get to be together. And live events are just the thing, right? Like they are just bring so much energy and so much life and make so much just special bonds together. So I'm so grateful that all of you got to be together in Milwaukee, and they are on their way back home. And so because of that, I'm helping host, and TJ is here tonight to share some top tips, some expanded pieces from what he talked about last time with Instagram, and then again, liquid kind of really tying to the National Wake Up Call. And I've got some really cool things that Julianne and I have been working on with some other leaders on the team to be able to give to you and share with you. And then at the very end, after we stop recording, I'm going to gift you all something that I'm not supposed to talk about on recording. So, all right, TJ, the floor is yours.
All right. Thank you guys. And thank you guys for your time tonight. I really appreciate it. I know it's precious and I'm not going to waste it, I promise. However, Kim, you got me wondering what that gift at the end is. You want to talk about a teaser? You really know how to sell it. So, like, I wish I could stay around for it. I can't wait to hear about it. So, I'm going to go ahead and get into it. Again, I said I wouldn't waste your time. So, I don't have a deck today. Normally, I provide some talking points and some, just kind of thing like that. But I really didn't get a chance to put together a formal presentation, and I apologize because that's on me. A couple things have changed in the last month. I decided to still work with my nonprofit sector and still work and focus on that, but I took a job working for an apparel company down in Fort Lauderdale. So my wife and I will be moving here in a couple months away from West Palm down there. So through this transition and whatnot, I didn't really get a lot to kind of prepare a formal presentation for you guys, so I apologize for that. But a little bit about this job, it's exciting because we work with influencers, growing apparel, working through Instagram, selling through here. And that's why it's kind of keen that we're talking about this today because, I want to let you know that, the more I'm learning from out there and that side of the world, I'm going to be sharing with you guys on this side. So as Kim mentioned, last month we talked about going out and liking hashtags, accounts, really interacting, spending maybe 15 minutes a day. If you're able to do it twice a day, the difference that can make, how that can draw profile visits, that can get to, people that are seeing your profile, and that's going to lead to followers and so on. So I hope you guys have been practicing that. And I hope it's paying off because I know it works from my end. Okay. So I do have some notes. Again, it's just not a formal presentation. So, in addition to that account location and hashtag targeting, I wanted to expand on that a little bit more into the sense of, industries, right? There's food and beverage, there's inspirational pages, there's health and wellness pages that are out there. Those are all great content to look at those accounts and, interact with the comments. Like the photos, see who's interacting with there. That's a great place to, find potential, prospects when you're looking, from an account perspective. When you're looking at locations, you have area gyms, you have local cafes, area churches, public parks. These are all great locations that you can go into Instagram and search using their little search feature in the map. And it'll recommend locations based on that. People love taking photos at these areas. It's a really great place to get your account out there, get some interaction, and get people to, view your profile. When it comes to the hashtag liking, when you're, that's probably one of the most popular ones. It's what Instagram is really built around, and how people, learn about, new accounts or, discover new pages. It's a perfect way to use that to your advantage to go out there and find pages and like photos based on that. Again, introducing yourself, knocking on their door, and getting them to come your way. So Things like healthy food, healthy lifestyle, health and fitness, fitness motivation, motivational quotes. Those are your heavy hitters. You can hit those every time you log in. You want to spend those 15 minutes liking photos or getting out there and really trying to target things. Stick to the basics. Though they have over 71 million, posts that are going with that. So it's daily. There's always something new. There's always people out there. Again, great ways to find and connect with people. Okay. Maybe if we spend a little bit of time thinking about, now who to target. We know, we're looking at these locations, we're looking at some of these accounts, we're looking at, some of these hashtags. Um, you know, Busy moms, that's a niche that is, can be, like a good target. Sometimes if you relate to it. I know some of the people on this call tonight, again, thank you for your time, because I know some of you are busy moms, right? So try to relate to what you might be interested. For your family, travel, food, doing social good, home life, wellness, those things. It doesn't always have to be necessarily about the fitness side of it, or different aspects to your industry. You can kind of think outside that box and find new connections through that. So busy moms is a generic term, but it's a niche when it kind of falls into those categories, right? Self improvement. um, you know, Topics that you might search for and keywords, and in these kind of type of communities, things are like goal setting. People that are looking for productivity, time management, focus, eating healthy, meditation, better habits. All these things that I know, Kim, you bleed through. Like, I learn a lot from some of the inspirational side of things that you do. Self improvement's one of those. So those are some topics that I think, when you're finding a niche and you're trying to go out there and find other people, you want to find people that are like-minded. You're somebody that came to mind for that. Working professionals, I think we all relate to this, how hard we work. But, when you're thinking of how to go out there and connect with people, it's, the expertise, experience, people that are, might be posting about perspective and learning. You can do word searches, you can do keyword searches that are hashtag searches, and kind of see some different ideas for these different niches to find ways to, maybe introduce your content, introduce your page. You go like their photos, you follow these hashtags. It's a great way to connect with people. Okay. Last but not least, now that we're out there, we're engaging, we're spending our 15 minutes a day, we're doing our hashtag liking, we're doing our account liking, we're finding our niche, we're targeting people, we're doing all these things. What's next? We want to make a connection, right? So when we're doing, comments, actively replying back. If you're getting, in your alerts, it's telling you, such and such replied to your comments, or such and such commented on your story. If you're using your stories and you're doing a poll, or you're doing which is better, or you're doing surveys, or you're doing tips, or any of these other types of content that help in engagement, actively replying back is going to be really key to making that connection. When you're seeking communities, I know this works on Facebook a lot better than it does on Instagram, but it does exist on Instagram. There are accounts, there are places where the inspirational pages that we think of, we all follow them. We're not following celebrities, we're not just following, well, I don't know, I can't speak for your guys's, what your feeds are like, but there are communities that are out there that are like-minded. So when you're trying to, again, find that niche, or maybe look after something that you can relate to, there's communities out there where you can go comment and join the discussion on photos, and interact with the other people that are commenting, because most likely, they're looking for the same things you are. When we get to story views, okay, so we all pay attention to our stories. Hopefully you guys are making stories every day. I know that's tough. That's a tough challenge, but it really does make a difference. Fighting for that real estate that's at the top of every Instagram when you log in is really, really key. And the more you do it and the more frequent you're up there, the more to the front of that list you're going to be. So hopefully you guys are doing that. So, we're going to walk through the scenario again. You go out there, you like a photo, you have an active story, right? When you get that notification that says, Kim liked my photo, and you have a story, you have that little circle around your profile photo. We're all familiar with that, right? So when you click on that, chances are you're going to load the story before you even load the profile view. So it's nice that we're getting profile views, and it's nice that we're getting people to come to our profile and visit us and hopefully follow us. But now if you're watching your stories and you're paying attention to it, you're hopefully going to notice within that 24-hour time frame, who's following you, who's not. Are you seeing, anybody on there that you don't recognize or anything like that? That's a great opportunity to connect, right? You can visit their profile. You might send them a direct message. You might comment on one of their photos. It's a great way to break the ice and go with it, right? They saw that you liked their photo, they clicked and saw your story, you noticed it. It's a great way to introduce yourself. So story views can be a great way to make a connection. And the last part of this, the connection side of it is, now when we say like maybe send in an invitation or how to make those next steps. You might be commenting and saying, hey, this mountain is really cool and I wish I could hike it. And, motivation Monday or whatever, and you feel like you're vibing, you feel like you got some good conversation going, but how do you take that next step, right? For me, invite to hear their story, right? Invite them to share what their challenges are. We all love a listening ear. I know that might be time consuming or something like that, but if you really feel like, making somebody to join your team or join, to, be with you, a good way to do that is to, invite them to hear their story, and to listen to them and saying, hey, like, what kind of challenges do you have? Or, I know in my life, again, we're niche targeting here. I know in my life that I have a busy 6 o'clock in the morning to 7 p.m. schedule. So it's tough to, spend time doing other things. That's a great icebreaker. It's just like starting a conversation. So learn about their challenges, offer solutions, is a great way to make that connection and go from there. So, Kim, that kind of, again, I kind of blew through there, but, I wanted to make sure that, and again, I apologize for not having a formal presentation, but hopefully you guys find some tips from there that you guys can find useful in your daily Instagramming.
That was good. It was, what I took from that was find, connect,
Mm-hmm.
invite, right?
You got it. You
Find,
got it.
connect, invite, which I believe is the same message we always give: find, connect, invite. But you gave good, tangible ways of finding people, connecting with people, and inviting them to stories, or inviting them through stories, inviting them through polls, inviting them through all the things. And it's just a matter of, first, how do you find them? First, to find people, you have to know who you are, right? So you have to find yourself, which is what coaching is really all about, finding out who you are as an individual, and then finding people that are like you and that you can connect with on their struggles, connect with, because you have this, because if they're like you, you're sharing the same struggles as those people and you can relate to them as a human being versus someone who wants to sell them something, right? We're going to kind of talk about that tonight. Thank you so much, TJ, for sharing, and good luck with your move and this new business adventure. This sounds fun.
Yeah, we'll have to catch up soon. So I appreciate it, guys. Enjoy, and I'll talk to you guys next month. All right.
Awesome. Thanks, EJ.
Bye.
All right, awesome. All right, ladies, we have some other fun things to talk about. So TJ just shared some really great tips on find, connect, invite, and before. But how many of you have listened to Micah Folsom's call from Monday? Anybody? National Wake Up Call? Awesome. So some of you are already going to know a little bit about this, but we're going to relate all of these things together. And at the very end, I'm going to share with you, not the very end, in a few minutes here, I'm going to share with you some tools and resources that you are going to be able to apply this find and connect and invite with, things to be able to help you make that process a lot easier. It is Julianne and my goal to always be able to provide you with the resources you need to make this easier, to take away the fear, right? To step away from feeling like you don't know what to say, because you don't have to know all the answers. You just have to have a few words to put with it and share your experience. And in order for you to really share your experience well, you have to be working with people that you want to be working with, that are like you, right? So finding the people that are of the same area as you in life, with a same season. So if you're a new mom, connecting with new moms. If you are a seasoned mom, I feel like I'm a seasoned veteran mom to some of you on this call right now. I connect with a different group of moms, but it's just a matter of finding your people, and well beyond health and fitness, right? TJ talked a little bit about kind of like some very broad things that I felt like some of the subjects he brought up were like, those are going to be laden with Beachbody coaches. But what makes you individual, okay? What makes you unique to you and makes you completely different than other people around you? And then than of us that are on the screen, but there are other people kind of like you, very similar to you. So like some big things that like really are very specific to me, I feel like one of the things that I could like sit down at a coffee shop and talk to someone for hours on, that I would never get tired of talking about. What are the things that you just love to go scroll or find, or you get obsessed about, you just can't get enough about something, you just want to talk about it, you want to see it, or you want to do more of it, right? Those kinds of things. I mean, yes, I would love to talk about Shakeology all day, and yes, I would like to do workouts all day, and yes, I would like to talk about coaching all day, because those things are so ingrained in me and I love them so much with a passion. But that's not all of me, right? Like there are other avenues of my life. There's a rest of my life, my world, that makes up who I am, not just Beachbody coaching. And so talking and connecting with other women that are moms, that are baseball moms, that are elementary age moms, that are former teachers, that are work from home moms, that love graphic tees. I'm a huge graphic tees fan, if you did not know that already. I love to search. One of my favorite things to do, since I'm always working towards that acreage in the country, that specific house that I have envisioned in my head, one of the things that I really like to look for on Instagram are inspiration for like what my kitchen's going to look like, what my office is going to look, and those kinds of things. And so I'm connecting with other women who like that kind of home decor, or like that kind of look of a cottage, or the a pretty scene that way. A lot of my stuff's going to looks like it's going to end up white, which I don't know how that's going to work in the real world, but it looks so pretty, right? Well, if no one lives there, it'll be great. But faith quotes, 10U baseball, getting very specific. Like I was looking a lot in like baseball mom, but that's like a huge gamut of things. And if I'm really going to narrow in my niche of like who specifically I'm working with, I have a 10-year-old boy. So I'm going to look very hard at the 10U baseball group. I'm going to look very specifically at the things that about me. I really love candles. Okay, I always have a candle burning on my desk when I'm sitting here in my office. That's unique to me. That's something that I connect with people on. I really love Gabby Bernstein. Okay, she's with my faith journey that I've been doing, everything, it kind of comes back to these cards. If you watch my stories, every single day I pull a card, and it's part of my morning routine, right? And it kind of sets the tone for my day. Same with my bar blend cards, but it's just a matter of what is very specific about you that you can share in your journey. So we started thinking about like what Micah was sharing on Monday. She was sharing a lot of these same things, and she talked about a lot about the invite process and how a lot of people get really nervous with the invite process because they're going to send a script, or they're doing these hey girl messages, and it's a lot of times it can feel very icky. I'm a cold messenger. I always have been a cold messenger, in the sense of I start conversations with people. I don't always send this huge long join my challenge group thing. Like that just doesn't work. Okay. But like starting conversations with people and connecting with them in a way that have some sort of connection with them already, and just letting them know what I'm doing, that's something different than just like a hey girl slap out there. But one thing that Micah always was said constantly on her call the other day was that our number one job is to connect with human beings. Okay, so putting aside the sense that we are looking for people to join our team, putting aside the fact that we want people to buy challenge packs, putting aside the thing that we want to hit Success Club, or that we want to earn income, put all of that aside, because the root cause of that, your job, number one job, is to connect with other humans and create relationships. When you think about the team and what your favorite thing about being here is, what would you say that is? For me, 100%, it's the relationships that I've built with the people that are on the screen, right? And so if we want to bring more people to what we're doing here and being a part of this, you have to build friendships. You have to build relationships beyond the people that are already here, right? And so when we think about our job as 1000% of being interested in other people and building friendships and relationships outside of our current friendship walls and bringing them into our community that way, that is the number one way to be able to make sure that you're growing and you're being connecting, and it's going to feel very authentic to invite that friend to come join you. Okay, it's a lot easier to invite our close niche friends, like our best friend, our mom, our sister, or whatever, right? But then when our immediate family kind of dries up in the sense of like really trying to continue to expand, we have to create those friendships, those other new friendships to be able to bring in with us. And that really just feels way more authentic when you can find people that you really have something in common with. Now, there are people on my Instagram that I don't jive with, right? Or they're not like, not really something that someone that I would really ever work with. But that's okay. I don't have to invite that person. I get to go connect with the people that I do want to connect with, that have something authentic to who I am as an individual. So when you really focus on meeting new human beings and being interested in them, sharing your journey and connecting with them on a personal level in life, it's gonna be a heck of a lot easier to invite them to do what you're doing. Okay. So if I'm Morgan Schaefer, this is Morgan Jacob on your screen through me, Morgan Schaefer, and I just had a new baby not that long ago, and I'm just getting really kind of rocking into my postpartum journey, and I'm exhausted because I am up in the middle of the night breastfeeding and all of the things, right? Who are the people that she's going to connect with the most? The mom that has the 10-year-old boy that can't find his socks and doesn't know where his lunchbox is? No, that's who I'm going to connect with, because that's real life people. Okay. So like, it's, you have to figure out who your people are and where you're going to connect with them. And then think about who are you on it, on that level, and going from there. One thing that he talked about was finding hashtags, finding that where you're going to find your people. Micah talked a lot about inspo accounts. Okay, what are, to save yourself some time in your power hour and to save yourself a connection space, you want to find at least five inspo accounts, like people or accounts, hashtags, you could say, locations maybe, of places that you've been that you absolutely love that you can't stop talking about. Like, what's a vacation spot that you just love and would love to go back to every single day if you could? Or what is the cute little coffee shop that you love to hang out at? Or what is, the one account that you just absolutely love that you just are always drawn to? It's the first thing you go watch, the first thing you go look at when you get on your social media. What are those things? And then go, if you like those things, other people are going to like those things, right? If you have a show that you watch, or an actress, or a book, an author, a speaker, somebody that just speaks to your soul, and you're like, oh my gosh, I can't get enough of this, those other people that comment and like and follow that account are going to be your people. Okay. I love Big Bang Theory. That's my guilty pleasure show. Okay. If I want to find other people that are like me, I'm going to go find other Big Bang Theory people. I'm a Sheldon person. I think he's funny, right? Bachelor, that's a good one. Walking Dead, you're totally Julianne's people. Like Walking Dead, not for me. Okay. I'm a comedy girl, right? Okay, so making sure that you are finding your people. Hopefully you've got ideas running through your head right now of some people or some places or some things, some concepts, some ideas that are going through your head right now of places that you can start looking. I would love for you to start dropping them in the chat, like put some inspiration out there, and maybe it'll start getting other people thinking as we kind of go through here, and you guys can get ideas from each other. But like, where are different accounts that you can go to? So one of the accounts that I actually found on Facebook first and then found them on Instagram was Ellie Grace t-shirts. Ellie and Grace. Okay, I'm gonna turn my screen down. Hopefully you can still see this. So they're graphic tees. They're all faith-based. Okay, so sometimes they put scripture quotes on here. Sometimes it's just their t-shirts that have scripture on them, or sayings, like faith-based sayings. And these are this is like my thing. Okay, I love looking at these, and my entire closet would be these graphic t-shirts if I were allowed, but I'm not. So what I would do is I go to one of those pictures that I really love. Okay, like these pants that say blessed on them. I would wear those. Okay, so it has 240 likes. I'm going to go to that 240 likes, and I'm going to go through here and only follow the people that have something else in common with me other than Ellie and Grace pants. Okay, so I look here at Kelly Ransom, and she has a new baby. She has a little boy. It looks like she's from the United States. Scroll through. Are there other things that you have in common with these people? Oh, she loves lilies. Bingo. Hopefully, if you've been following along Self Love Challenge, you know too that I love lilies. So I'm going to follow her. And then I'm also going to like several of her photos. Okay. And she's from Chicago and her son plays basketball. Even better. Oh my goodness. Look, we have so much in common. And she's a Cubs fan. Bam. Look at all the things I have in common with her. So I'm going to now add her. This is something else that came from Micah the other day, which was, I thought, genius. So I'm going to take one of those photos. Okay. And I'm going to, who knows about the little flag that is down here on the screen? See that little flag that's right there? Okay, when you find these people, you can hit that little flag and it says saved collection. I'm going to tap that and I'm going to create a new collection that says, could be potential coaches, all right, or Cubs fans. There's so many things that we're connected on here, but I just created a new collection. So when it's time for me to make connections in my power hour, it's time for me to invite new people. It's time to be a part of, getting connected with people online and just going loving on posts and those kinds of things. All I have to do is go to my settings, the three little lines, if I could actually touch it, and saved. And those are all the collections that I've saved and all the people that are in those saved collections. Okay. So I have one that's called, now I have one that's called Cubs. I have one that's called Future Home. I have one that's called Potential Coaches, Food, Baseball Moms, Clients to Invite, and Podcast Invites. Okay. Those are my collections right now. But I could easily make a whole bunch more of them and very categorized. So if I'm really looking to connect with other moms, I'll have a collection of those people. If I have other ladies that I want to collect or connect with over my future house, like maybe find a designer to like design my future kitchen someday, I could go do that, right? It's just a matter of organizing your people in a sense. And then when you're connecting with those people, commenting on their posts, really connecting with them as a human, as an individual. Remember, your number one job, like Micah says, is to connect with human beings and create friendships outside of the walls that we have right here in this community to bring them in and be with you. You're off doing that, right? You're connecting and being a good human being and loving on people and showing them, showing love on their posts and stuff, while you're also just going and living on your life. If you are commenting and doing all the things on their posts, more times than not, they're going to come check out your page where they're also going to see you living your life, where you're going to be posting your workouts, where you're going to be talking about this team, where you're going to talk about this healthier lifestyle that you're living. And it kind of creates a little bit of that curiosity marketing in the sense of like, they're going to come check you out and see what you're all about. Okay. And when they start watching your stories, when they start showing up in your likes and posts, now you have a real in, right? You know that they're watching, you know that they're engaged with you, and that makes the invite that much easier. All right. Find, connect with people, have even some conversations back and forth, and then really go from there and making the invite. Now, the second piece that I really wanted to share was like, now that you've got be really thinking about some of those, yes, you can move them in other collections. Good question, Beth. So if you have if I have people in like that mom's, the Cubs one or whatever, and like now I can move them into an invited, or I can move them into a follow-up, or I can move them into something else and move them into a different collection. Great question. It's all about how you want to organize it, right? There's no one way to do this business. You get to decide how you're going to organize them, and who just have them there to be able to find them again. And then one thing that she talked about on the national call too was like, there are a million ways that you can invite people, right? It can be an actual invite where you send them a personal message that says, hey, I've really been thinking about you. I've got this thing coming up that we're actually going to be doing the Happiness Code Project. Hopefully you saw it in the team page today. We have the Happiness Code Project coming up with my team. And I really think, based on our conversations and the things we've been talking about, I really think you might really love this. Would you like to know more information? Okay, that's one invite. It's a personal message kind of things. Other things that it can be soft invites would be things like question boxes in your stories, or putting calls to actions in your posts, doing the swipe up features, doing sequencing of certain information in your stories, creating those sequences and saving them in your phone and reusing them over and over and over again, getting people more information. Last week, when Amanda Freeland was on the call, she uses event pages on Facebook to get her information out there. That's an invite for you to invite someone to that event page, right? It's a great way for you to just get the information out there. And one thing that Micah also said was that coaches are problem solvers, right? Trina says this a lot. We are not doctors. We are not nutritionists. Majority of us are not nutritionists. There are a few nutritionists on the team, right? But the majority of us are not nutritionists. The majority of us are not fit pros. We do have physical therapists. We do have fitness professionals on our team, but the majority of us are not that. We are not the be all end all for people. It is not our job to make sure they get results. It is our job to inspire them. It is our job to motivate them. It is our job to introduce them to tools and resources that can help them reach their goals. Our job, Micah says, our job is to be a problem solver. We have a solution for their problems, right? So take the pressure off of yourself right now, and that you are going to make sure that they lose that 50 pounds, or that you're going to make sure that they're going to get the best results from the program that they purchased, because that's not on you, that's on them, right? You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink, right? And so the best thing that you can do is be their coach, to provide them motivation and inspiration and the resources, but they have to be the ones that put the work in, right? They have to be the ones that go do it. So we are problem solvers. We listen to their problems. So it's kind of what TJ was talking about a little bit there, and that we go find and connect with people on real life stuff. And if you're connecting with people that are in your season, in your way of, in your life right now, you're gonna have plenty of things that you can share advice on, or share connections with beyond health and fitness. If you can connect with someone on running kids to all their million events at the end of the day, or you can connect with someone with a breastfeeding situation, or you can connect to someone that, you know, just is busy working whatever, then you get to decide what that looks like. And then you just keep living your life, and they're eventually going to ask, or it can come up in great conversation, right? So Morgan, you're right in the middle of my screen, Morgan, so I'm just constantly picking on you. But like, you know, she's super tired in the middle of the night, or like Jill just got home from vacation, right? Like just trying to like get life kind of back in order. And what's keeping them going right now? My guess, it's this yellow little shake that they're drinking, like giving them life, right? And so when they're talking, see, she's got it right there in her hand. So when you're talking to tired, burnt out moms, or you're talking to like girls who just like haven't had any sleep at all, like, girl, I feel you. I understand what life is like. Can I tell you what I've been doing to get better at that? Right? And then share something just like you would share the great movie Downtown, or like just like you would share the dairy free pizza that someone tagged me in, which I'm so appreciative of, right? And so it's just a matter of like, you know, pizza's life, and I just have not had enough of it lately. Anywho, I digress. It's a matter of connecting with people on things that you're going to be able to share the information back and forth with, right? Adding value to people, and then in turn, they're going to help you out with things as well as you need to in life. So we are problem solvers. We are listeners. We are looking for solutions for people, that things that have worked in our life, or using things that have worked in our community's life, our coach's life as well. So Micah's philosophy was adding 30 new people to her network every single day that were adding to her collections. So she was going to maybe a collection or an inspo account, and she was finding 30 people that are just like her to add to those collections and connect with. I don't know if she tracks them. She didn't say that, other than adding them to that collection. But she did say that when it's time, when open enrollment is open for her group that she's got going on, she doesn't care how long she's been connecting with them. She doesn't care if it's been a month or 2 months or 2 days. She's inviting that person to come do what she's doing, because they have something in common with her. And if they've been watching her, or if they've been doing something, they are going to want to do that too. Or it's just planting the seed with them, right? So those are the kinds of things that we should kind of be thinking about and doing. So how many of you, by raise of hands, have already thought of a couple categories or niche kinds of things that you can be thinking about or doing? Awesome. Love it, love it. Good to see the hands up. Good to see the heads nodding. Okay. If you need ideas, start thinking about what your daily life looks like. Okay. What your past interests were like. What do you like watching on TV? What is it that you did before you were a coach, before you got the job? What are some childhood favorites or things that you really love that you wish would come back to life? Right. There's lots of different things from like kid movies and things like that from way back in the day. The gift that we had to drop the other day, like what's your favorite movie? Scrolling through some of those, I was like, oh, I forgot about that movie, but like that was a fun one, right? And so just thinking about stuff like that too. All right, so some other fun things. Any questions on any of that? I just like all over you there. I'm excited about this. Makes me talk really fast. And I got really cool things I want to show you. So, other questions? Anyone have any comments on that? What's going on in chat? Good, Holly. I like it. Follow them, and if you don't jive, you unfollow. It's not the big deal. I'm on fire. Whew. Yeah, I have a candle next to me. So, Okay, let's get rock and rolling. All right, so now that you're finding people, you're connecting with them, one of the number one things that you have to be able to do if you're going to expand your business is you have to have something to invite to. If you're going to invite people, you got to have some place to invite them. You wouldn't invite people over to your house if you weren't having a party or a get together, right? You wouldn't invite people to a movie theater if there wasn't a movie going on. So what are you inviting to? Well, we always try to provide you something to invite to, because a lot of times, especially new coaches, remembering way back in the day when 5 years ago today, 5 years ago today, I started as a coach. I didn't have a clue what I was doing. And I was so grateful that there was a little pot of people run by Miss Julianne and a couple others that said, hey, just invite to this. And we went and did it. Okay. So that's what we always try to do. Thank you. This is what we always try to do, is provide resources for you to be able to take away that fear or that like, I don't know what to do, because action is the way that you get results. Right. And so I have several resources that I want to share with you. Whoops, I closed the chat. Let's share a screen. Okay, several things for you today. Not Andra or Zoom. All right. Hopefully Amy is a coach soon. All right, let's look at a couple things. By the way, if you have not known so already, put March 1st. This is like total scroll moment. Put March 1st on your calendar, because that is when Trina is doing the live in Team Rockstar Fit. And it's going to be at the early time like it was last time, okay? 12 p.m. Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern, which means good old Midwest girls, it's 2 o'clock if you are in Iowa, Minnesota. If you're a Michigan girl, you're East. Wisconsin, you're still Mid-Central, right? Okay, so that is going to be in Team Rockstar Fit. Total scroll moment, not what I wanted to share with you. This is what I wanted to share with you. Let's make this bad boy big. All right, who can see this? Anyone? Yeah, head nods. Okay, good. All right, I'm gonna make this small so you guys can see everything. I made this graphic and I will share it in Team Happy and Fit here any moment now, after we kind of talk about this through. But there are going to be 2 things for you to invite to in March, okay? Starting today, starting yesterday, actually, February 24th, starting yesterday, you can go ahead and start inviting to the happiness code. Jay's been traveling, and so today she put up the video. Maybe you've seen it, the sneak peek group that we used for Mission Move 100, and then we used for Bar Blend. That has been transformed over to the Happiness Code project. Okay, it's going to happen in the team page. So both of these events are going to be for coaches only. This is a great way for you to invite to the team. This is a great way for you to bring them into the fold. Find people that you really jive with, connect with them on a human and personal level, and then invite them to come join you in this lifestyle of living well, right? And so the Happiness Code event, all that stuff is already up in there. She's got a video done explaining everything, all of those kinds of things. So you should be inviting hardcore to the Happiness Code project. So this is just March, but if you think about this last week of February, and then since the self-love club is on day 9, so we're almost through with it. So now inviting to the next thing. And so they can get their package here in February and be a part of the happiness code in the team page starting on March 9th. Okay, so inviting to the happiness code, coach only in Happy and Fit, not customers, just coaches. And then see the coach club for invites, stories, all the things, plus that event, or not event, I keep saying event, that group, the sneak peek group, Live Fit thing, it will be there. All right, so use that. We'll be adding more resources for you the next couple of days. If some of you want to be super amazing and create story sequences because you're just amazing at that stuff, go do that. I'm not creative in that way. I like doing simple things like this, organized, right? So we'll share resources as we go, right? 10 rounds on March 9th, there will be a sample workout that pops up for 10 rounds. Hopefully you guys are excited for 10 rounds. I know I'm pumped for 10 rounds. It's going to be amazing, really cool program that it's going to incorporate weightlifting, which is one of my absolute favorite things, and boxing, which is the hottest craze in fitness right now, besides bar. So like, how cool is it that our company comes up with bar and a boxing program? The top 2 fitness style requests in gyms right now are bar and boxing, and we have the solution for those people right here in the comfort of their own home. How cool, right? Okay, only got a few minutes left. Let's keep rolling. So happiness code is happening right here, the 9th through the 21st. There'll be keys 1 through 5 will happen here, and 6 through 10 will happen there. After the 10 rounds starts, or after happiness code starts on the 9th, then we switch gears and we start inviting to the second thing to invite to for the rest of the month. And that's going to be the 10 rounds coach only group in the team page. Okay, so all the dates are here on the side. Again, I'm going to put this graphic in the team page so you'll have all the information. But this is kind of how that's going to work right here. All right. Questions? Please put them in the chat. I gotta get. Maybe I have to stop sharing. Nope. Exit full screen. Okay. Second thing I want to show you is how I'm inviting to that. Okay. So one thing that, let me pull this back up. One thing that I have that we're doing as our team is that we've got lots of different ways that we are inviting to these things. Okay, like we talked about, there are lots of ways of inviting. You can put story sequences up, you can send messages, you can do swipe ups, you can do polls, all those kinds of things. But there are other ways that you can do it as well. And so one other way that I want to show you was that our team has been really focusing on, my personal sponsor team has been really focusing on, where's it at? Meal planning, right? So one of the things that I did for some of my teammates was that I created a conversation sequence for how to get people started. So we pick a program. This is our pack. Trina is always saying all the time that you just need to simplify down to what is it that you want to be your thing that you offer to people. What is it that you know works for people? Confusion kills the conversation. Confusion makes people walk away. Okay, so if you can get down to the nitty gritty and you can say, this is what I think is going to be best for you because this is what I know is going to be the solution for you, then do that. The kind of the big conversation on our little team that we're working with has really been focused on nutrition. So we're starting with that, right? So our end result is going to be nutrition and fitness and support, which is what we're all about here at Team Beachbody, right? And so I wrote a sample kind of conversation, how things are going. I put resources in here for them. I gave them 2 options, right? So based on the conversation, they're going to either be Ultimate Portion Fix or they're going to be 2B Mindset. So when they send, okay, here are the 2 options. Let's see if I have this actually pulled up. Nope. Here. So when I look at the 2 options, we get to that point. These are their options to join. They've already decided 2B Mindset is for them. So option 1, they can get 2B Mindset, BOD, and Shakeology, or option 2, they can get 2B Mindset and BOD. Okay. If they decide to go Ultimate Portion Fix route, they don't even see this graphic. The only graphic they'll see is this one: Ultimate Portion Fix, Shakeology, and BOD, and Ultimate Portion Fix and BOD. They're getting a subscription either way. They're obviously, we want them to start with Shakeology, but we try to just go that route. Okay, so that's something that you can get super good at with just conversations and details in that way without using the video. But there are other ways that you can start doing things as well. Let me get to event page. We created an event page today. It's not here. Let's stop sharing. Questions. While I get this to come up. What I really need you to know is there are 2 things to invite to in March, and we're giving you all the resources to do so. Why won't you load? Questions on 10 rounds. I will help answer those questions in a second. Unless you guys are quick and you know those answers already. There was a training in the champs page today as well. So I want to show you. So, oh, you guys are always in the middle. This is an event page that I made, very similar to Amanda Freeland last week. It starts on Monday 9th. It's happiness code. I just made it earlier today. I've got 3 people going, 3 people interested. These are the people I'm going to start having conversations with. I can then share it with other people and invite friends. Share and invite people to join. It's just like sending a personal invite. I'm going to come through here and I'm going to invite people. This is obviously from Facebook, but I'm going to invite people to join this. All right. Look at all these people that I already know, that so many of them. This is a really old list. A lot of them are on our team already. Isn't that awesome? Okay, and then I just hit send invites and already done. That's one quick way to get invites sent out. Questions, thoughts. When does 10 rounds kick off? Like day 1? Yes. So there was some conversation about how things were going to rock and roll with 10 rounds. They were going to do some prep stuff, but that's not happening anymore. Carl wants to make sure it is flawless when it launches. So on March 9th, there will be a sample workout that comes out, much like we've always done. Okay, there'll be a sample workout that comes out March 9th. Everything will become available to purchase on March 16th. There was previous talk about coaches getting access earlier, but that's not a thing anymore. March 16th is when coaches can have access, and it's an on sale day launch. So it's not a buy it on the 16th, wait for it to show up. It's you buy it on the 16th, you have it on the 16th. Okay. And so that's when we are also going to do a 10 rounds challenge group starting in March. It's going to start on the 16th, and we're just going to rock and roll from there. Okay, again, it'll be coach only. So invite people to join your team and we'll get rock and rolling with it. If you're going to have customers do it with you, I know I'm going to have lots of customers of mine that are going to want to do this. I've already been talking to them in my newsletters about it. It's just a way to, you'll run customers someplace else, but we're going to provide you all the resources, all the tools to run a successful challenge group in the team page. Other questions? And then customers have access April 5th, April 6th. And again, when they purchase April 6th, they'll have the whole program April 6th. And then it launches into actual bod in like October, I think. Who has something that they walked away from the call tonight that they can go do something with? Awesome. Tell me in the chat, what are you going to go do tonight or the rest of this week? What is your homework assignment? What are you going to go implement? To make sure I didn't miss anything in my notes. Love it. Yes, April 6th is when customers can buy it. Connecting more on Instagram, finding your niche, getting more into your niche, Holding each other accountable. Yes, expanding your Instagram, collections, inspo accounts. I love it. You heard what I was talking about. This is good stuff. All right, ladies, are you ready to hear the fun thing that I'm going to give you? All right, I'm going to hit end record.